Now, let's talk about exponents and introduction to logs. We have to know the rules of indices. We start the rules of indices, which are the same as the rules of exponents, by the first rule is when I have a to the power of m times a to the power of n, it gives me, when I have the powers having the same base, I simply add up the powers when they are multiplied, a to the power of m plus n. Now, let's see an example. If I have 2 to the power of 3 times 2 to the power of 2, this would give me 2 to the power of 3 plus 2, which is equal to 2 to the power of 5. Let's go now to the second rule, which is a to the power of m divided by a to the power of m. When I divide powers having the same base, I simply subtract the powers having a to the power of m minus n. Let's have an example on this. 2 to the power of 5 divided by 2 to the power of 2, it simply gives me 2 to the power of 5 minus 2, which is equal to 2 to the power of 3. Now let's go to the third rule. The third rule, if when I have a times b, all of it to the power of m. In this case, I distribute the m to a and to b, and then I multiply them by each other. So this would be equal to a to the power of m times a b to the power of m. Let's take an example on this rule now. If I have 2x to the power of 3, this is equal to 2 to the power of 3 times x to the power of 3, which is equal to 8x cubed. For the fourth rule, we have a divided by b, all of it to the power of m. This is equal to a to the power of m over b to the power of m. So, an example on this rule also, if I have 2 divided by x, all of it to the power of 2, this will give me 2 squared divided by x squared, which is equal to 4 over x squared. The last rule we'll be talking about is when I have m to be negative. Let's say I have a to the power of negative m. When I have the power to be negative, I simply take the a from the numerator to the denominator and I flip the power to be positive. So this is equal 1 over a to the power of positive m. If we want to take an example on this rule, it will be, if I have 2 to the power of negative 3, this is equal to 1 over 2 to the power of positive 3, which is equal to 1 over 8. Now, let's have an example to solve. We need to write down the following expressions as a single power. Part A, I have x squared times x to the power of -5. Since I'm multiplying powers having the same base, I simply add the powers, so it's x to the power of 2 plus the -5, and this gives me x to the power of -3, which is equal to 1 over x to the power of 3. For part B, I have 3 squared over 3 cubed, all of it to the power of 4. It's equal. First, I subtract the powers inside, so inside it becomes 3 to the power of 2 minus 3, all of it to the power of 4. So this is equal to 3 to the power of -1, all of it to the power of 4. Now, since I'm having these powers, -1 to the power of 4, I multiply these powers by each other. So this becomes 3 to the power of -1 times 4, which is equal to 3 to the power of -4. We can continue. I can set this equal to 1 over 3 to the power of 4, since the power is negative.